I thought. Oh, we made it to 2026. Great, good, nice. Will be very, very nice. Man, we got the crew, we got the guys in here, man. Back at it. Yes, sir. And we're cooking with grease. Man, oh man.
Cooking with diesel, buddy. What you talking
With
about?
diesel, with kerosene, with jet fuel, with jet A. Let's go. Happy New Year, boys and girls. Man, we made it to another year. We did it, guys. Look, we're in here. Look, first day into 2026.
Yes,
And
sir.
what do we do? I do my yearly ritual. I kick off the year flying, no matter what the wind is. And this time we had RC Pilot Will out there.
Yep.
By the way, where is RC Pilot Will? Who's this guy down
I'm
there?
right here.
We got a
Yeah, look at
substitute
him.
in here. He sounds like Will, but he's not Will.
Yeah,
I'm here.
definitely not a Will.
This is Will's twin
No,
brother.
man.
Yeah, you know, little different.
Yeah, man, that right there is the 2026 Will. That Will right there is ready for action, dude. He is taking no prisoners. He is ready. That's Will 2.0. Y'all better get ready because it's coming, man. Let's see here, dude. Let's see. P51 fan kicked off the year flying as well too. Man, glad to have everybody in here. Jeremy, how's your New Year been, man?
Well, it was all right. We actually slept in until 2 p.m. So
Ooh,
take that.
Do you want to elaborate? You want to tell them?
The only thing we did for New Year's was we went out and seen the new Stranger Things. So
Oh yeah, dude, it's great, man. We've been binge watching that in my house. My kids love it. I love it. It's been great, man. So no spoilers, but dude, it kind of brings back the nostalgic of like the Goonies, except it's a little bit better, right? You get that same feel.
it brings back that type of movies or series that we haven't seen since the 90s.
Yeah, man.
You know, 90s and 2000s.
It's like the world's like the media world is healing, man. You know what I mean? The earth is healing, dude. It's great.
Everything for the last 10, 15 years has been garbage.
I completely agree. Well, man, that's good stuff, man. I'm glad we got everybody in here. Guys, we got a special show tonight. We're going to talk about some new airplanes that are coming that we got green lighted, okay, to talk about from Banana Hobby. I think you're going to like what you see because you're not going to see it anywhere else other than here. And then we're having Hex Speed coming up here in a couple minutes. He's actually feeding his face right now. That man's over there doing a little bit of grilling out there. But yeah, we're going to have him up here to talk about a couple of the projects that he has going on too. So we're going to kick this year off in style, man, you know? But other than that is, dude, we've got a bunch of people already in the room. I'm looking in the conversation. And Tim Burke says that's the new turbine flying Will right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I told you guys, when you fly a turbine, it changes. I told you, it changes you. Look, the man got a little hit of turbine, got a little bit of turbine fuel in his veins, and this is what happens, boys and girls. It happened to me, it happened to him. Jeremy's already been experiencing it, so yeah, it's just it is what it is.
Like I was telling Jeremy,
IW Ardala, he says, Jeremy, is that the e-flite F-35 behind you there, sir?
That is good, sir. That is the brand new 70 mil version. So originally it came out as a 64 millimeter with the option to take the 64 out, remove a couple of shims, and put a 70 in there. So now what we've done, we've listened to what you said. We kind of had a plan to do a 70 mil in there already, but with what you guys said, we now have the 70 millimeter plug and play, ready to go type of thing. You can also get the airplane where it doesn't even come with a motor in there, but it still comes with all your servos and everything. So you can put whatever 70 mil or 64 if you choose to into that airplane. And so that is it. We're going to assemble it real quick. This is straight out of the box. But again, the good things about it is that you got the 70 mil setup in there. Let's see if we can stick it right there. So, good power in there. And another great thing on there is that it's got a Hobby Wing ESC 80 amp in there with thrust reversing on there. So
nice.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's plenty of hand space for a 70 mil.
Where are we at? Let's see.
Very nice.
Anyway, Hobby Wing ESCs. In Hobby Wing, we trust. I like Hobby Wing a lot.
Dude, they're dead on. Hobby Wings have always been like excellent ESC, man. They just make good products.
Yeah, they are good.
Yeah. So there it is. The other big awesome thing about this airplane is I really love the stance of the aircraft. That any F-35 out there has never had the actual right stance on there, and this definitely does. It actually has the main landing gear out where they're supposed to in the wing route, which is pretty cool. So.
It is a very nice looking plane, man. When I got mine, I was like, oh man.
Look at how the landing gear is cantered forward. The real F-35 actually has the main landing gear cantered forward. Also, I mean, look at that. This is flipping
Tim
awesome.
Burke says when it comes to the 70 millimeter in it,
it's
glued in.
Yeah. So
is it glued in? Is the 70 millimeter glued in?
I don't know. I haven't opened it up yet, but I know you have to glue potentially in if you swap a 70 into there.
That shroud.
I haven't seen how they put it in there. I just know that it is in there. So
yeah.
we're gonna run it, and we're gonna have fun with what it is. So we're sticking 5,200 milliamp hour packs inside this thing.
Yeah.
And it loves it.
Dude, it's a great flyer, man. The thing's a screamer on a 70, and it's a phenomenal airplane. If anybody hasn't flown that thing yet, and you were waiting on, like the 70 coming in, like that Jeremy just got in, dude, you might as well go ahead and pull the trigger, man, and get that. That thing is that is a well made machine right there. So
I'm gonna reveal what I'm gonna do to this airplane when I've done testing it.
Oh gosh, what are you gonna do to it?
I'm gonna customize the tail on there. And I'm going to do the Hill Air Force Base demo scheme tail.
Oh, cool.
Which should look pretty dang cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to look nice.
We're going to roll that since they're out of Hill. We get to see them doing practices all the time. We get to see all that fun jazz. And it's going to be pretty cool. So
I haven't seen one in person yet. Do they have a distinctive sound? You know what I mean? Like, most jets have a certain
The F-35 is the loudest jet I've ever heard.
Really?
Next to a B-1 Lancer.
Oh, wow. So that sucker's really loud.
It is loud. Why. When they go from slow to fast and they jam the throttle, it's got I call it a lightning growl or a 35 growl.
Yeah.
That's just woo as it gets going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's really neat.
Well, even the model that I have with the 70 in there, it has a distinctive sound.
This one does too. It's got really cool intake noise. So
yes, I love it, man. That is by far probably one of the coolest jets, for sure. So I'm happy to see that you got that one, and I can't wait to see how that one performs, man. So that's going to be good. Bill Wagner says his gets tons of compliments on the gear, by the way.
Yeah, that's one of the best things that we had to make sure that these airplanes had was, there's other F-35s out there, but what were they missing? One, they were missing lights. Two, they were missing scale gear,
Yeah.
And then three, they didn't have a Hill tail flash. So
yeah, I agree. I agree, man.
Something neat, but again, there's always neat stuff that are on the way, which we'll talk about later. Some more new stuff, but they knocked it out of the park on this. I like it a lot. One other thing I want to show you guys is how these elevators connect. This is unlike it.
That's the coolest thing.
Look at this tail section.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not flexing anywhere. I mean, look at that. And the horizontal, which side is it? Let's see. The horizontal just slides on. If you look right here.
Mm-hmm.
And voila. I mean,
snap.
I have the screw in there just because I was threading it, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Bill Wagner that has an 80 millimeter in his, dude. That thing's a pure rocket ship.
You know, everybody's going to end up having fun with these airplanes. I love seeing people customizing them. And
oh yeah, that's the hobby.
But I don't think I would put an 80 in there because I don't know if I'm going to get the flight times. But maybe. I mean, I'm see what the flight times he's getting in there.
Man, that thing is probably cruising around with an 80 in there, like quarter throttle.
But look at that. I mean, super easy. The thing's already installed. It's got limited travel on there, so you're not going to end up hitting into the surfaces. I mean, awesome job on there. The wings connect simple. You know, you got your couple connections here, and then simple connector there. Done deal.
That's really good.
Yeah, real easy assembly on there. Now, I like running gyros in there. All of these smaller airplanes seem to, and just become that even better performer when they, have some type of gyro or stabilization.
Absolutely, that one benefits from it for sure.
But again, fresh stock of these are in, so get them while they're here. Because we never know when
they're hot.
And they're great price. I mean, you cannot beat the price of these things.
Oh, I know. It's like a giveaway price, man. It really is. It's a very, very nice package, I'm saying. So Bill Wagner says 4 minutes on the SMC green 5200s. Gotta say, those green 5200s are my favorite lipo at this point now. Just regular flying lipo. Dude, great. Yep. And 4 minutes, man. Yeah, for sure. He's getting that on what, a 80? Yeah, I'm getting probably like 4.5 on the 70. So
I'm curious what the sound of that going by sounds like.
Oh, dude, I bet that thing sounds amazing. Tim Burke says, I broke the plastic ball link on my horizontal on mine. Yeah, it can happen.
How did you do that?
Yeah. Hey, but you see what he did? This is how good Tim is. He didn't say it broke. He says, I broke, man. I broke it.
Yeah, I'm curious how you broke that. I mean, if you look at this surface,
a lot of torque.
Yeah, I have no idea how that broke, but that's interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, probably a lot of torque on there. Let's see. Don Henry, what's going on? He says, Happy New Year's, you motley crew of dudes. Studley studs. Speaking of studly studs, we got over there. We got RC Pilot Will down there looking pretty good.
No,
also right away. So
that's not Will.
Yeah, that's right. That's Will 2.0. Will 2.0, by the way. And by the way, while we're going to talk about Will 2.0, congratulations. RC Pilot Will got his turbine waiver, boys and girls. That man is legit and dangerous and free to patrols in the sky at 200 miles an hour max speed. Yeah.
Wait, Will, dangerous.
We'll figure out something.
It's like we don't want to put this public.
we don't want to put it out there for the masses. But Will, man, how does it feel to have your turbine waiver, man? How was the journey for you? Because it's important for people to hear. Because remember, I told you, I was like, dude, there's nothing different about flying a turbine jet than any other thing. Once you start doing the big ones, like the 105s, the 120s, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What do you think, man? What's your journey?
So yeah, like you said, doing the 105s and the 120s and stuff, that definitely opened the door for me to get into the turbines. Before, do you remember when you started with them? And I was like, oh no, I'm not touching any of those. I was terrified. I was like, I'm not touching none of those because they go so fast. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with it. It's so big, and then it's like, of course, you're thinking about the money too at the same time.
Yeah.
Something you're thinking about is the money. And I just gotta say, man, taking that journey from the smaller EDFs to the bigger EDFs to the turbines, man, it's been really fun. I learned a lot of stuff that I picked up before, I got out of the 90 mils and stuff, and then I picked up a lot of stuff from you when I got into the bigger jets. Of course, you helped me. You really kind of helped push me into that.
I try to make people spend money.
Thank you for breaking my wallet, but
Yeah, you know, it's fun to do.
It's not broke yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just wait, dude. Just wait.
No, but seriously though, thank you for helping me on this journey though,
Oh,
because
of course.
it is something that I wanted to do. And I mean, you introduced me from the big EDFs to my first balsa plane, which was that trainer jet. Remember the trainer jet I got?
Oh yeah.
The trainer, not jet, but the trainer
The airplane.
prop plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my first move from electric to anything that was internal combustion, which was the nitro plane. And I started that journey when last year, right?
Yeah, it was last year for sure.
Yeah. So, and I said I was gonna move into doing more stuff with balsa and try to do more stuff like that. And then I got no, that wasn't that. That was the year before. That was 2024. I did that because I got to the Black Horse Viper, and so I was moving into balsa, getting away from foam. And then now here I am, 2025, going into 2026, and doing turbines, man. And I gotta say, it's amazing. I'm starting to look at my EDFs like, why am I even still flying these?
It does change the perspective for sure.
About that.
A little bit.
So,
Yeah.
I'm already looking for my second turbine jet, looking for a second turbine engine. So I'm probably going to be hitting Banana Hobby up real soon.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, dude. And that L39 that you fly was purchased. It can be purchased from Banana Hobby as well too. They sell them there.
Yep.
Awesome flying airplane. By the way, one of our guys at our Phil, Michael, he actually has one, and he has the same setup. I believe he watched yours fly, man. He was like, dude, I need that in my life. And so he'll be the next person that we get up in the air, man, and get his waiver, get him squared away, and boom. So he's right there on the cusp of getting his too. So just a great journey, man. So
yeah. And I mean, getting the waiver, guys, I wish we could have had a video about that because Bobby could tell you when I was doing the test for the waiver. And, because he was actually the guy that was just, put me through the paces along with the witness. And he was like, you got to go full throttle. And I was like, what? Like, you got to go full throttle. You got to do how many? I forgot how many revolutions. It was like 2 revolutions or something like that.
That's quite a few.
I'm like, full throttle, 2 revolutions. And I'm just like, holy crap. I was nervous as crap, dude. I was like, he was like, okay, you can throttle down now. I was like, thank God.
Hey, look, and now, guys, I can't even get Will to slow down. This dude flies like all the time. He's like wide open, just getting it. You were in there today like that. I was like, man, that thing's cooking. So.
That turbine was screaming.
It's just a ball of fun. It really is.
It is. It is.
Don Henry says, wait a minute, Will. He said you got a haircut?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I cut the locks off.
Yeah, dude.
They're gone.
Will 2.0 up, and we got the F-35 up and running.
F-35 over here.
That easy. Just got to put a receiver and gyro and done deal.
Nice.
Now you got the linkages on and everything already?
Dude, it doesn't take long.
Yeah, the wings are already linkaged on. You just have to put the elevators on.
Yeah.
Yep. Easy peasy.
That's it. Let's see here. Bill Wagner says, nice, not charging 10 packs so the day or evening before. That's true too. Yeah.
That's true. That's all you got to do is have your fuel and your turbine packs and you're good to go, man.
Wes Hobby says, now you got to get your turbine helicopter. Man, that just sounds scary.
Yeah, that is scary.
That sounds scary. Let's see. Louis Motorsports. He says, man, I want to get a waiver, but I don't think I'll ever own one. That's a lot of stress. I tell you, it's really not a lot of stress. It's less stress once you get it and fly. I promise you.
If you can fly the big EDFs, you can definitely do a turbine.
That's right.
Definitely would start with something like an MB339 or L39, something like that.
Yeah.
And then, then move along from there to another sport type wing. But yeah, that looks pretty neat, dude. What's it doing? Servo test?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just have a servo tester.
Tim Burke said, "I'll take that Sport Hawk off your hands."
That's right. Yeah, the Sport Hawk, dude. I was watching
I
Will.
don't know, man. That Sport
Hawk
Hawk's kind of hard to let go of.
It was screaming. It's fat. That Sport Hawk is just fast, man.
Yeah, that Sport Hawk's kind of hard. I might let the Black Horse Viper go first before that Sport Hawk.
Absolutely. Look, one D fan says 2026 will be the year I get my waiver. Dude, nice. I'm telling you, man. Get it. Get it, man. The only difference in between you getting your waiver and not getting your waiver is literally the money. And once you buy it, it's that money spent. And then if you start looking at some of the jets, the EDFs that you have in your hangar, once you have about 3 or 4 of them in there, you're in turbine price range right there.
Yeah.
And 4 EDFs alone.
Yep.
So, you know, it's a logical transition if you can.
Somebody a little while ago, and we were talking about the things about turbines and the differences in EDFs and whatnot.
Yeah.
The first thing I told the guy was, you don't fly the money, you fly the airplane.
Absolutely.
So you have an airplane. Yes, if you buy a turbine jet and you are just constantly worried about the money,
it's not for you.
You shouldn't be in turbines.
Yeah.
Because you still need to just fly the plane. Get up there, fly the plane, enjoy what it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Money is nothing at that point. If you're at that point, you can't be flying the money. That's the biggest kick.
Yeah,
it's true. That's what and like I say, that money's already spent, so there's no reason even to dwell on that.
And if it goes in, it goes in. You know,
it just goes in. Yeah.
You go pick it all up, put it in the back of the truck or trailer, and then you go to the next model and you fly it.
Yeah, but you missed out a key part there. Well, you go to the truck and you cry in the truck. Don't let your friends see you crying. And then you go to the next.
Ever cry in front of your bros.
That's right, dude. You can cry in your vehicle and not let anybody see you there cry. And you'll be perfectly fine. You'll pick up and carry on. It's a rite of passage. Hey, look, P51 fan says, I want composite. Am I crazy to consider a 1.8 jet roller for F-16 starting off? No, I don't think that's crazy at all, man. I don't know.
One of these?
Yeah.
One of these right here?
One of those right there, right there.
Look at that, man.
Pretty little guy. Man, that's a nice one, dude. I'm telling you. Let's see here. Don Henry says, I'm relocating soon, so it doesn't make sense for me to get a turbine. That's true. Yeah, man. Get it if you can get it. If it makes sense to you. Sometimes it doesn't. So, Jack Starks Aviation says, if it crashes, you will always walk away. Bingo, dude. That man ain't never lied. That's the truth right there.
Unless it crashes into you.
That's true. Then you'll crawl away.
You'll be like that guy that got clobbered by that P-50 or that P-38.
Oh my gosh, dude! I know,
God, dude. That was
crazy. So all right, well, dude, man, I gotta say, while we're talking about this, guys, I want to tell you guys thank you for making 2025 for the channel a complete success. I gotta say the partnership, not only with a couple of other vendors, but with Banana Hobby has been very, very good, man. Carrie, Jeremy, and all the guys here, man, have been super supportive of the channel, and man, just reaching out and giving a dude a chance, man, and having some fun. And it was great. Last year was a wonderful year, man. So we had a good time, a lot of good airplanes, a lot of good reviews, and everything like that. So I gotta say though, 2026, man, is gonna be, dude, there's some cool stuff coming out. Jeremy, I know he wants to talk about a lot of the stuff. We're gonna talk about 2 planes tonight that's coming out. That's gonna be pretty interesting.
And they're not even the coolest.
They're not even the coolest, but I can show you one of them that is, I think, in my opinion, that's super cool. The scheme alone is super cool. But you know what, man? Shoot, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
Hey, Ryan Spokane. No, I don't have a pilot's license. None of us have a pilot's license.
Yeah,
we keep our feet on the ground.
That's it, dude. It's cheaper this way, you know. By the way, so let's talk about it. It's the new KA 80 millimeter EDF. That is by Fly Fans, right?
That sure is.
That is, dude. So, Jeremy, I'm going to be talking about this. I'm going to queue up the picture of it so you guys can see. Jeremy, Now, do you have any specs on this one, or are we going to keep this one kind of tight?
We don't have the specs because we haven't tested it yet.
Right.
So once we get it, we'll get the specs, we'll get the feels on there because there is subject potentially to change, right?
Yeah.
So take it for what it is right now. Just know that it's coming. We'll give you more information as we can.
Now, the scheme that I was cleared to show you guys in this picture is only like subject for Banana Hobby. Nobody else will have this.
Correct.
So here we go. Take a look at this right here. Look at that. Is that not nice?
That is cool.
That is a cool K8, guys. That right there is an 80 millimeter K8. Retracts, flaps, lights. The detail in the cockpit is very, very nice. But take that in right there, dude. That's only at bananahobby.com, man.
My question is, can we put a turbine in it?
Man.
No.
That's an EDF right there. You might be able to stick a 45 in that thing. But
hey, so here's on turbine conversions. They're not designed for it.
No, I'm just messing, Jeremy.
You're good. But there's people out there that are going to say that.
No, they're going to try to put a turbine in there, and you there's a lot of things that you're going to have to do. But this is dedicated only for EDF right here. And so that's going to be the 80 millimeter EDF. It's going to be pretty nice, man. So I'll show you again, man. But look at that.
That's a nice bird. Nice.
Is that paint or is that like, what is that?
That's paint, buddy. You can
Dude,
tell
that's beautiful. That right there. So guys in the comments, what do y'all think about that? I'm gonna jump to the comment section to see what y'all think about that. Let's see here. That scheme is crazy.
It's actually, from what I understand, there's going to be 3 schemes.
Great scheme, dude. That's awesome.
So we're going to keep the other one secret.
Louis Motorsport says it's coming in 2.
And then there was another one that was announced on EDF Jets or something like that. You remember finding that one, Bobby? I
do remember. Yeah, I do.
Go ahead and share that one because that'll be the standard scheme that can be available anywhere.
Are you talking about the white one?
It was red and white, or
I hadn't seen that. That's the old one. I don't have that one actually.
No, there's a new one. It's the 80 mil.
I don't have that one. Yeah, I saw the picture. I think I saw a picture somebody posted on Facebook of that one last go around.
It was on Facebook. That's on.
Yeah. It was in the
leak. Somebody leaked it.
Yep, they leaked it. Matter of fact, I think I showed it on here last show. Let's see. Jeff Rocastle says, "Ice, ice, baby." Let's see. That's pretty sweet. Charles RC64 says that's pretty sweet. Let's see. Hex speed in the house. His GB is cool. Yep, we're going to talk about that there, Mega. Let's see. He says that's the Thai Air Force scheme. Pretty neat. Much nicer than the aerobatic scheme, for sure. I agree. I think that one is just neat, man. That scheme right there, when I saw that, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. And that's what you guys had. You had one of those, yep. The red, white, and blue.
I think ours is a little different than that, but
I just remember it being red.
All I remember is that little 64 millimeter or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was, but that thing was the most locked in little airplane.
Dude.
Or knife edges and all kinds of stuff. You could do knife edges at a foot down the runway. It was pretty neat. So
it looks like a lot of people like this. Let's see. JMHS 5 months. It says, I just wish fly fans got away from using the wing connections with the servos exposed. Would much prefer they use a multi-connect system like Freewing or FMS. I would too, man. Honestly, I wish everybody would. I wish that was standardized right there. You know, those easy connectors. I wish that was standardized, but unfortunately, it's not. You know. So Tim Burke says he likes it. So everybody seems to like that scheme, man. So that's a winner right there. So,
but just wait for more cool.
Yeah, we got more cool coming, and man, I wonder if we should talk about the next one, or should we just come later in the show with it, huh? Let's see here.
Next one.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one that we got cleared to show.
Are you talking a propeller one?
I'm talking EDF one.
Oh.
Yeah. Now it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest. But yeah, no.
Well, that's what she said.
That's true.
Not
That's
amazing.
true. But it is a good flyer though, and that's all that matters. It's not the size, it's how it flies. And if it doesn't fly good, guess what? I ruined that bad boy, and guess what? You got something to work with there. So, but I tell you what we'll do is we'll come back to that one real quick. But we got Hex Speed in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing, buddy?
How's it going? Going pretty good.
It is going, man. Dude, what have you been up to, man? You have been mad scientisting it up over there.
Yeah, a little bit.
And just making things happen, dude. So
He looks tired.
yeah.
So this is one of my latest little projects I've been doing. So obviously this is the e-flite B2. I posted a video of the maiden on my channel from last weekend. And as you can see, it looks a little different than the standard one. The color is a little bit more accurate, and it's black on the bottom. So my dad worked on the B2 program for over 30 years. He was a flight test technician. So my dad worked out at Edwards Air Force Base on the B2 for over 30 years. That's where he was there from very first flight all the way through till his retirement. So
wow,
definitely a lot of family history with the B2 program in our family. But my dad knows everything about every single one of the B2s, basically. He probably worked on every single one of them. But I worked on the B2 for the first 3 years of my career at Northrop. But anyways, so the B2's got a little special place in our hearts. And the e-flite model is pretty cool for such a small airplane.
yeah.
And so I wanted to paint it like the very first B2, which was actually black on the bottom, not all gray like the newer or like the current ones are. It was also black on leading edges. But I also painted the exhaust areas to look more realistic. And I sort of changed the color on top a little bit. But anyways, one thing you'll notice is that it's now got drag rudders, just like the real one.
Did you do that?
Yeah. They're made out of plastic, just plastic sheet. And I have a little video that I'm going to be posting on my channel on how I did it. It's pretty simple. What's that?
I added those on mine also. There's a 3D print you can print.
Oh, is it really? Oh, I just handmade these. It was pretty simple. But
yeah.
And the reason I did it was because I'm just not going to put a clear fin on it. So,
yeah.
And honestly, I hear that they fly fine with no fin when they're stock. But the problem is I put all this paint on it, and I think it moved my CG back enough to where it made it not that stable with the gear off. So I actually had a crash. It's on the video. And it started doing all kinds of crazy yawing back and forth and gyro oscillations and all kinds of stuff. And I ended up losing control of it and crashing it. And so while I was at the field, I added some more crow, I guess you'd call it. Or I separated the flight controls more to cause more drag, so it'd be more stable. And that fixed it at the flying field for the most part. I was able to fly with the gear off. But I wanted a more permanent solution that looked cooler, so I decided to make some drag rudders like the real one has. I mean, obviously the real one doesn't always fly with them open, but haven't flown it yet. We're going to go out tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, something I messed with that yesterday. I'm working on my jet hanger A4 currently. Been working on that all day. It's been a long time since I worked on this airplane. And since the success of my F-86, I'm finishing off this one, which, as you can see, also has a glow ducted fan motor in it.
Man, we created a monster.
Yeah, this is a much bigger engine, though. This is a 91
Oh,
with a
wow.
Dynamax fan, and my F-86 has a 46 in it. So this is essentially twice the cubic inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a more efficient fan, too. So this thing should really haul. And I made my own ducting for it. I don't know if I can turn that around
cool.
and show you guys.
I love it.
It's
Man.
all fiberglass. You can
Oh,
sort of
nice.
see
Jeez,
in there
look at
the
the size
fan.
of those blades in there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's an 11 blade fan. It's a 127 millimeter. So
The reason, Will, is because those motors have to have a little bit of back pressure on there. Otherwise, they just overspin. And they
yeah, they had to have the motors could only really turn about, these big ones can only turn about 20 to 21,000. So they essentially had to load the fan, design the fan to where it would load the motor at just the right RPM to where they wouldn't just overspeed like Jeremy just
Wow.
said. So
I had no
it's
idea.
very, very specific. You can't just put whatever motor on whatever fan, and it doesn't really work that way. So, but anyways, that's something I've been working on today. Yeah, I had a bunch of goals over the Christmas break, and I didn't really get to very many of them. Partially because I blew up the clutch on my car racing it. So I spent a few days fixing that a couple weeks ago. I did a bunch of automotive maintenance and work over the last week or so. So that kind of took away from my airplane time budget. But I got my last few days here before I have to go back to work. So I wanted to get this A4 flyable before I went back. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but it should be soon, I think.
Yeah,
maybe next weekend.
Hearing that friction plate come apart and inside that bell housing doesn't sound good.
Yeah. The disc actually broke in half, basically.
So you hear it go pop inside.
No, I actually never heard anything, which was crazy. It just kind of stopped working, and I was at the track. And what the crazy thing was, it was holding power. It wasn't slipping, but I did notice that it was starting to vibrate to like above 6,000, and I was kind of like, I don't remember that. So. And then it just stopped working, and I couldn't drive it anymore anyways. I ended up driving it an hour home with no use of a clutch, essentially, which if you've never done that before, it's doable, but it's not fun. So,
man.
Anyways.
Now, heck, let's talk about your latest conversion. Now, it's funny because like I know guys that have done this. They used to do it back in the day to some of the phone planes. And I thought it was pretty cool. And then I saw the GB R2, and you did the 4-stroke conversion in that one, man. What? How has that been? I'm gonna play the video in the background so people can see exactly what's going on.
It's a super fun airplane. So I've kind of always loved the GB, and when that came out, you guys had talked about it briefly, and it's not for everybody. I mean. Some people will be like, "What is that? That's dumb," and then some people are like, "Dude, that's the coolest airplane ever." So. I have a little personal history with the airplane, not super personal, but I saw the replica GB perform at an air show when I was about 12 years old, and it was just incredible to watch something that looks like it's not supposed to fly at all just fly as well as it did. Was just amazing.
Yeah.
So ever since I was a little kid, I've just always loved those airplanes, and I don't know what Horizon did with the design of this thing, but there's not a better flying GB on the market. I can promise you that. This thing flies so good, granted with the aid of a gyro, but it flies so good that it's an incredible amount of fun. So I haven't had that much fun flying a model in a long time.
Why would I do
that?
I don't say that lightly because I do have a lot of fun flying models, but you know, when you get to the end of a flight and you don't want to stop flying it, and you just want to put another battery in it, or in this case, put some more fuel in it. I did that like 2 times at the flying field. So I was like, this will be enough. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put some more gas in this thing and fly it some more. So,
dude, it looked like it did really, really well for the flight.
It flies amazing.
That is
super
impressive
cool.
too. Now, how much weight did you have to like counterbalance anything? I mean, obviously.
No, I didn't have to add any ballast, but I did have to use kind of a big receiver pack and mount it all the way in the back of the airplane. So
I was wondering. Okay.
It's a good amount heavier than a stock one. It's about a half a pound heavier than a stock one would be with a pretty decent sized battery in it. So it's definitely heavier, but you wouldn't know by the way it flies. To me, it flies super nice. So. And I'm getting like 20+ minute flight times on it. Pretty much wide open the whole time. Like it's super fun.
And it just takes it, right? There's no negative tendencies, no nothing, right?
No, man, it flies amazing. Honestly, like you can smash the throttle on a go around and just go straight as an arrow. Takes on, takeoffs are super easy, landings are super easy. At knife edge is all day long. In fact, it almost flies at a knife edge naturally. You just kind of roll it on its side, and it sort of just stays like that. It's pretty fun. But
I got the video of it playing right now, and guys, the sound of a 4-stroke. If you're coming from like an electric and you never really heard like much nitro or 4-stroke, dude, there's nothing that sounds better than like a 4-stroke.
And you get a little smoke coming out of it, which is pretty fun. You know.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, dude. That thing's zipping too, man. It does fly very, very good.
Yeah, it's got plenty of performance. I don't know that it's really much better than a stock one, but it's similar. It might be a hair better. We haven't flown them head to head yet, so maybe tomorrow.
And it just sounds good, like a.
Yeah, to me, it was like the model was perfect, aside from the fact that it was electric. You know what I'm saying? It was like I love engines and I like to mess with stuff. So for me, it was a no-brainer. And being a radial cowling, it's like really easy to fit a motor inside of it. So
Oh yeah,
it took me longer than I thought it was going to take. It took me like 6 or 7 hours, maybe 7 or 8 hours to actually fully finish the whole conversion, but it was worth it for sure. So
man, that was cool, dude. That was definitely cool. Let me jump into the comments over here. Let's see here. Hamilton's Hangers, what's going on, buddy? Hadn't seen you in a while, man. Good to have you in here. I hope you had a good 2026, by the way, Hamilton. Let's see. He says the GB is one of a kind. Let's see. Cannot like one, dude. It's true. Let's see. The GB is a sight to behold. It really is. I've watched videos of the actual full scales, and you're right. Yeah. It's like it shouldn't be flying, but it does. I believe it was a racer too, right? It was
built. Yeah, it was originally a pylon racing airplane.
Yep. It's crazy. Let's see. Wes Hobby says, I need to fly my DL Cyclone running an OS91 ducted fan. It's not super fast, but it's cool. You don't see them old nitro ducted fans anymore. He's right.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare. Cool. Twin City Moose says, Jeremy, with the banana hobby stands, can I use half of it, or do you have to build the whole stand? That's a good question.
You talking the tall 6 stand?
Yeah.
That needs to be completely assembled, but then you can just put whatever arms you want on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the whole thing's load bearing, right?
Well, it's just how they have the back supporting and all that stuff.
That's right. It's on the rail. Let's see. Jeff, Will is more aerodynamic with the new cut. That's funny. They're saying you're
less drag.
Yeah, literally, and he just left. So he was so quick I didn't even see it.
He got rid of his external stores.
He definitely did, man. I tell you. But dude, that is absolutely cool, man. That is neat to see the GB coming in like that, man. So I always like to stay tuned to what you got going on the channel because you always got some pretty cool and interesting things going on over there. So let's see here. And
a couple weeks ago, Bentley flew the T-38 for the first time.
I saw.
And he actually he had no idea he was going to fly it. I mean, he knew we were taking it, but I was up flying it. I'm like, hey, you want to fly it? So I handed him the box, and I was planning on letting him fly it. He just didn't know. And I handed it to him, and he was flying it around, being pretty cautious with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we only got a couple minutes left. Why don't you just shoot some approaches with it? So I talked him through a landing, not on camera. It was actually probably better landing than the ones that were on video. It was really, really sweet. And I was like, all right, well, I guess you're flying it the next time. And so he did take off to landing, and he was sweating like a pig, but he liked it. So.
Man, well, dude, yeah, he seemed like he handled that whole thing like a champ, man. I watched the video. I was like, man, that airplane looks like it just flies good. Like it just is a good, stable flyer.
It's a really good jet. It just has a couple of things you have to look out for because much like the full scale one, it will really bite you if you get behind it. So
I could see that.
When it stalls, it just falls out of the sky. And I mean falls out of the sky. There's not much warning. It'll go from flying to dropping. And it doesn't have enough power, much like the real one, to get yourself, unless you're really high, doesn't have enough power to really power out of a bad situation like that. So you kind of got to stay ahead of it. But once you kind of get a hang of that, it's a super honest flying airplane. So,
yep.
But it's very much like the real one. It's got a very thin wing, a very sharp leading edge. So the stall is abrupt and it'll kind of come out of nowhere. So,
by the way, I know you were just talking about the B2 and everything like that. And you said your family had been helping making it and everything, like, just very involved with it. What are your thoughts on the Chinese version of that thing?
Well, the Chinese are always copying us, there's
and I'm like, can't you just make something for yourself from scratch?
No, the Russians did the same thing. They always just, let us do it first and then do terrible attempts at trying to copy it. The thing with stealth technology is there's a whole lot more that goes into it than just shape. And so I think that's where they're really behind us. You know, you can make something that looks like a stealth airplane and call it a 6th gen or whatever you want to call it, but the fact remains that there's so much science and technology that goes into the rest of it, coatings and applications of materials and all kinds of stuff that obviously I can't talk about. And that's actually kind of what my job is at Northrop. We develop all that stuff. So I'm a part of a very small group, and we do test models essentially, and we do radar testing with them. So I've been involved with that for over 20 years now, and it's neat to see, you know, stuff evolve and technology evolve, and you know, the Chinese and the Russians are so far behind.
That's how Brent gets all his smooth surfaces. He's like, so.
I was getting ready to say it's all coming together.
Honestly, it's kind of part of my job to be super nitpicky about stuff. So
yeah.
And when you see pictures of like Russian stealth airplanes or Chinese stealth airplanes, and you see giant screws and gaps everywhere and panels mismatching, and from a distance it looks like a stealth airplane, but up close it's not even just a shade. There's so much that goes into it. So
you're like, that radar is going to be picking up all on those weird little anomalies right there.
Yeah, they're pretty far behind us when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah. In my opinion. But
we're very thankful for the work that you do and the attention to detail, man. Not only professionally, but also in this hobby, man, because it's fun.
It is a lot of fun
to see some different stuff. So
yeah,
I'm looking in the comments over here. Jeffrey Castle says, "LOL, made in China." Heck, the radar systems are also lacking as well. He says, "I hear the Dragon is more of a lizard." Yeah, well, you know. Hopefully, we don't have to test any of that stuff, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Man.
But if we keep coming out with cool stuff, it'll, you know, keep them from trying anything. So.
That's right. You always got to keep the leading edge, dude.
It's kind of like the Cold War is still going. It's just a really cold war, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been going. It never really stopped.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that the Russians' little drone B-2 or whatever it was, it flew away, so they had to shoot it.
I read that article. I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? And they shot down their own drone. I was like,
flying away.
Yeah.
There's so much technology that goes into all that stuff that if you're not really on top of it, then it's just not going to work that great.
Tim Burke says, Bobby, love to see you review the Freewing A10 V3. I'm thinking about one for the next EDF. Love to get your input. Tim, I got one on the way, by the way, so we will see it very soon. I got tired looking at it and decided to pull the trigger on it.
Flies a little bit different than the original one.
Yeah.
But lands a little better with the gear being cantered the way it is a little bit.
Nice. Got a new member too, Charles. Nice, man. Thanks for becoming a member of the channel, brother. Appreciate that, man. Always welcome. Dude, this year, 2026, man, we got some great ideas and some cool things that we're going to be adding in. Every year I try to make sure, just like, Hex Beat said and Jeremy said, man, I try to make sure we stay current and a little different than the rest of the other channels out there, and always trying to reinvent things that we do here, perfect them, and bring different, topics and items and things like that, stuff that you don't normally see. Because honestly, you don't want to be stagnant, because if you get stagnant, guess what? You get left behind. So always got to reinvent ourselves, man. So that's what we do here. So I certainly appreciate all you guys in the input there.
I was pretty surprised by the reaction to this little GB. I got a ton of comments on the videos that I posted about people have always wanted to try it, people not knowing if you have to fuel proof stuff or not. And honestly, EPO, you don't have to. You can soak it in acetone and it doesn't melt it. It's not regular foam. So
yeah.
And people are like, oh man, I've always wanted to try that. It's so cool. And I was actually really surprised at how many people were really behind it. It was kind of like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I might have started something there, but
I believe I'm sure you have probably inspired some people to try something different that they didn't know that they could actually do.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You're going to waste some money if you mess it up or something, but it's not like you just spent, a year building this thing like I'm doing with this thing, and then you mess it up. That's a different story. It's pretty low risk when it comes to especially smaller foamies.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you guys remember, but somebody took the little UMX GB a while back and put one of those little tiny Cox motors in it. Did you ever see the video of that?
I saw that.
That was the craziest thing ever.
I was like,
so cool.
And the thing screams. It screamed.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's neat to see people do stuff that's different, you know.
yes.
So,
and that's what I love about the hobby, man. It's something always different, something always evolving. Like, so that's what I really enjoy. That's what keeps me going and motivated, man. So really appreciate all you guys and the hard work that you do, and always pushing the envelope, man. That GB was pretty cool. Now, by the way, guys, look, I wasn't even paying attention. I got a notification from YouTube. It says the channel has reached 9 million views, dude, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
That's a lot of views, man.
That's a lot of views.
That's a lot of eyeballs watching the channel and watching, the reviews and the content and the live shows and stuff like that, and people from all over the place. So I thought that was pretty cool, man, to know that. So again, I'm certainly appreciative of you guys coming in here and watching everything. It's always neat too when I get like messages from people. I've had messages from people from all over the place, and Google Translate is like the best ever, because like I don't think I could talk to like the majority of the people from overseas, because like they'll write something in their native language and I'm like, I'm not sure what that is, and I'll click that and I'm like, got them. So but yeah, man, so very thankful for that. So, and like I said, we're trying to just get the word out there and get everybody on board. Heck, I've seen your channel, man. Your channel's starting to get really good traction, and the subscriber numbers are rolling, buddy.
it's starting to go. Yeah, I'm up past 7,000. So, I mean, obviously, as a YouTube channel goes, that's nothing. But considering that I started at nothing a few years ago, that's not terrible,
Yeah. Look, dude, I remember when I started my channel, I had like, I'm not kidding you, I had like maybe like 500. And I was like, wow, And I think it's like at 100.
I mean, it's really cool. I never would have thought that I would ever hit 7,000 subscribers. When I hit 1,000, it was actually kind of a freak incident that happened. I happened to be the first person to upload a video of the Stratolaunch first flight. And if you don't know what that is, you should Google it. But it's essentially the world's biggest airplane, and I happened to be there for the first flight. And my video was the first one to get uploaded because I went straight home and put it on. And I only had like a couple hundred subscribers at that time, and I got up to almost 1,000 subscribers just from that one video.
It's impressive.
And I got like 800 something thousand views or whatever, and that was kind of like what kickstarted it. And then after that, it's been slowly growing ever since. So,
man, dude, I wasn't paying attention in there, and Tim Burks became a new member. Guys, really appreciate that, man. Let's see, Hamilton's Hanger, dude, really appreciate that too with the super sticker, dude. Wow. Man, y'all are kicking off 2026 proper, man. I really appreciate that. Dang, dude. Really, he says, appreciate you guys. Cheers to another good year. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hamilton, I hope your family's doing well, dude. You got a beautiful family, man. So that is always a good thing to see. So let's take a look here. Mountain RC says, your channel was my most watched channel on YouTube. Viewed over 200 videos from your channel. My gosh, man. Mountain RC, I really appreciate that.
Well, you know why he did that, right?
He
like looking at all that chocolate you got on him.
What?
He's gonna text me about that later.
What is he talking about?
He's gonna get me about that later.
What is he talking about? Chocolate. Hey, man.
Oh, man.
I don't even know what to say in reference to that. What do you say?
Flying them airplanes with those guns out.
Oh, man. Will, this Will 2.0 guy, I swear, guys. The man cuts his locks, and he's just a different dude all the way around. Oh, my gosh, man. Dude. Now.
Oh, man.
Excuse me. Now, while we were talking earlier, we talked about the K8, the 80 millimeter fly fans that's coming out. Now we're going to talk about the next bird that is coming out that I got the okay to talk to from Carrie and Jeremy. We're going to talk about this one. Boom. Let's talk about it. The new Global Express twin 40 millimeter EDF jet. What do you guys
think that is? What are the guesses?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. What is that? Let's see here. I'm going to show you guys a picture of it.
E38 maybe, F5. That'd be sweet.
This one is beside the other one. Here we go. So, there you go.
Cute.
Yep.
Oh, that's like the little J65.
It's very similar to the J65. Yeah.
That's cool.
It is cool, right? I thought so too. Cool. Like
So you got a
you,
talking boss version of the J60.
you guys that don't know, that little airliner on the right there is a phenomenal flying rocket, dude. That thing is so dang quick and surprised the heck out of me how well it flew.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little twin liner right there, we couldn't even hurt that thing.
Dude, that twin liner, we flew in heavy wind. I mean, 30, 40 mile an hour wind. No gyro. And it was eating it. So very excited about the Global Express. That's another 40 millimeter coming into there. It's neat to see something different. So again, like I told you guys, 2026 is shaping up pretty decent.
So there's 2 planes already that we're going to be having through Banana Hobby.
Yeah. And Jeremy he kind of hinted on another one too, but there's so many other ones that are coming from
there's a propeller one coming.
Gosh, man. There's so many good ones. So
there's another multi-engine coming.
Dude, y'all are going to love what's coming.
There's really, really big stuff coming.
Yep. I'm telling you. Yep. Corporate jet right there.
Composite designs that are coming.
And so Charles RC64 says, when will it be coming out? So
these are real quick. So
yeah.
Probably next shipment. So we already have a shipment that's on the way, so it'll probably be after that. So plan on about 2 months or so.
There you go. There you go. They're serious about getting these airplanes out there and coming out with good quality airplanes. Again, you're getting the same BH standard where they're testing these airplanes before they come to market.
The Hawker Hurricane and the Spitfire.
Yeah.
Sure.
By the way, one of our guys at our field loves the Hawker Hurricane. So I'm going to have to get the Hawker Hurricane and fly that so he can see it. Neil, if you're watching, man, look, we have not forgot about you. And so I will definitely do that. So, that's going to be a good one. And so that should be pretty good. Well, I'm trying to think. Did I ever come out with that Spitfire video? Dude, I don't think I dropped that.
But I don't think you dropped it.
Dang, man.
Spitfire?
Yeah, man. Dude, that thing right there was pretty awesome.
Absolutely solid, and I love the flipping landing gear on that.
Oh, the landing gear are phenomenal.
Solid. Absolutely fantastic.
That airplane was very well done. I got to drop that video on that one, dude. I caught the flu. It ran through my whole family, man. Last week.
We got hit by it through Christmas. All of Christmas, I was down.
Same. I literally, that last show that I did, and I was sick, and I was like, that was right before I got truly, really, really like sick with the chills and everything. It ran through my whole household, and I was like, what in the world? And now it's completely done. And I was like, dude, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I'm still coughing out, but it's done here.
The whole time I had the flu, I was still out there flying, though. You can't hold a man down.
I couldn't get out of bed for 4 days, dude. I was down.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Man. But, yeah, guys. So Tim Burks, he says, is there any new 3D planes coming out?
Not for us.
Yeah.
We're not a 3D plane company.
Yeah. I think e-flite will probably be your best bet. Or
Hobby King has the MXS, I think they just came out with.
Yeah. Yeah. So they'll be your best bet. But yeah, that I would say definitely that's not Banana Hobby's cup of tea.
If you're trying to go for 3D airplanes, you need to go with like Extreme Flight or 3D Hobby Shop or those type of things. To be honest, I wouldn't go with foam. I would be getting with balsa kits that are awesome.
Same.
If you're going to do 3D, just get into it and then learn on it. It's awesome.
Just fly foam.
All right. So, all right, guys.
Glue that together when you break it.
I need all you guys, Jeremy, Heck, Will, I need all your skills set right here. Okay. So at this point, we're gonna do some flying skills and some techniques. And so I need you guys to. This question right here, and then I want y'all to try to help some people because this is a good question right here. All right, flying skills and techniques. How to recover from common in-flight emergencies. So what do you guys think are common in-flight emergencies every pilot, new pilot, advanced, intermediate should practice or think of or have in the back of their mind when they're flying? So I pose that question. I'm going to let RC Pilot Will take that one first. and then we'll work around. So, Will, what are some common in-flight emergencies you think people should be doing in their head as they're flying? Just give me one. Just one. That's all I need. One.
Stall practice.
Okay. Gotta elaborate.
Yeah. So, being able to just practice stalling, and if it's practice what the stall tendencies are of that plane, because if you end up in a situation, you need to know how to react to it when it does decides to stall and not freeze up on it. You'll know the stall as it's beginning to come on till you know that it's about to do it. So it's like you just.
So, and to kind of help you along with that, you're right. Stall tactics. One of the things that you want to do is go 4 or 5 mistakes high and put it in a stall and see exactly what it does. If it's violent, get it really slow and see if it goes hard to the left, hard to the right, and learn exactly what it's going to do when you're in low, when you get it too slow. But remember, when you're doing this stall, emergencies and you're testing that, remember altitude is your friend. Also, thrust as well. So, or throttle. Definitely don't want to try that on your most expensive airplane, but that's a great one. A stall is definitely it, but make sure you get up there, throttle back, get it really slow, and get it to the point where it actually stalls, and you'll learn a lot about your airplane. That's something I do with both of them. When I'm flying my turbine jets, I do it with the turbine jets, believe it or not. I get it slow enough to know. Some airplanes will tell you exactly when it's getting ready to stall. Yeah. The rafale will start, wobbling left to right. It lets you know that it's not flying anymore.
The Hawk will do it too. It'll start doing that, and it's like it's about to stop flying.
T-45 and surprise the heck out of you and put you in a bad spot. So that's a good one, a stall. All right, let's go with Jeremy Stolt, man. What is a good common in-flight emergency people need to be thinking about?
So it would be your plan ahead.
Okay.
So every single time I'm flying down, we'll just say I'm doing a pass across the runway, I'm already thinking about where my next pass is, where I'm going on the next pass.
Smart.
So I'm thinking ahead already, the next already go. Within that thinking ahead, I'm thinking about if my motor stops, if my battery drops off, something comes apart, where am I going to stuff this airplane?
Right.
And that's all part of the whole circuit of what I'm planning on doing. Because when stuff happens, it's usually when it's the least opportune. And so the last thing you want to do is stick it into a car, a building, anywhere, you know what I mean? All those type of things.
Yeah.
So you always got to look for the plan ahead. And by planning ahead on, at least a pass ahead, then you have that. You should have foresight of something happens. Now you know where you're going with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that get in trouble with turbines and their motor stops, and they might, have to come in and land from the right per se on a runway because of the way the wind is. A lot of people, if you're not foresighted to where you're planning on going, you're going to end up making a turn that's wrong, and now you're short, you're off-site, you're those type of things. So always, in my opinion, the best thing is planning ahead.
Okay? Absolutely, dude. You killed it, man. That's absolutely right. It's funny that you say that because when I was flying my jet, what was it? Not yesterday. What day before? Last time I flew, not today. When I was flying my turbine jet, I was flying it around, and I remember what one of my good buddies, who is a full-scale pilot, when a full-scale pilot, when you're flying in an airplane, you're not just sitting in there looking around enjoying everything. You're looking for birds. You're looking for places to put it down. You're running through your mind what happens if the engine quits. And so with my scale airplanes, I do the very exact same thing and think about, okay, I'm having fun. This is great. I'm going fast. But what happens if this turbine cuts off? Now what am I going to do? And then I started thinking, Will had a issue with one of his airplanes. And, you could either put the gear down or you can keep the gear up. And every airplane that I have that I fly, and this is just for me, I count in seconds in my head how many seconds it takes for those gears to come down. So if I know it takes 11, 12 seconds for the gear to come down, it's not feasible for me to try to land if I don't have the time. If I have one and the gear come out immediately, then I know that might be feasible for me to try to, make a good landing. Sometimes it's not smart for me to put the gear down because it's going to get ripped out if I'm coming in too fast. So these are things that you got to think about. But dude, you're Jeremy, man, that's 100,000%. These are things that you don't get. This is things that only people that do this fly and have the experience, have been doing it for a long time. The old timers pass it down to us and that kind of thing like that. That's where you get this kind of information. So, man, dead on, dude, dead on. All right, heck, Speed, brother, what do you have that you think?
There's a number of things. I have a lot of emergency experience just because a lot of people ask me to fly their planes for them on like first flights and stuff like that. So a lot of times you run into oddball things that happen, control stuff that goes wrong, engines that quit or ESCs that stop working randomly or whatever. But
CG that's off.
What's that?
CG that's off, or
CG that's totally. And sometimes you can't avoid what's going to happen. I've crashed other people's airplanes because when someone tells me it's ready to go and I give it a quick overlook, I don't know all the very specifics about it, but it looks close. And then when I go fly it, the CG's wrong or their control throws are way off or whatever. But the biggest thing is, like Jeremy said, you got to plan ahead. But also, if you panic, that's probably the worst thing that you could probably do. And like the great late Bob Hoover said, keep flying the airplane all the way to the crash. And just take, for instance, my first, the first flight with the Hangar 9 Hawk. I had a motor quit in a very bad spot. I was climbing out at almost stall speed, just in a super high angle climb, and I ran into fuel starve problems and the motor quit. And so now I am high up, sorta, but I have no airspeed. And so I had to figure out, and I had very little experience landing the airplane, so I wasn't very familiar with the airplane, but I basically had to make the choice of trying to make it back to the runway, which most times isn't your best option. That's what kills a lot of people in real airplanes, especially, is trying to make it back to the runway. It's the impossible turn is what they call it. Because we just, saw that a couple weeks ago with Greg Biffle and his family that just died. Yeah. They could have landed that Learjet straight in, but they went around the other side of the runway and whatever happened, and they all died. It's really sad. But the same thing goes from all airplanes. You try and make that turn back to the runway dead stick and you're going downwind or you're crosswind trying to turn back into the wind and you're low and slow and out of energy and it doesn't usually end very well. So, you got to kind of plan for that. You got to, what are my surrounding areas around the flying field? Where is a good and the field that I fly at's great because we got a lot of flat dirt all around it. And so, I was able to land it off into the dirt without hurting it. Same thing went for my Bearcat a couple weeks ago. I had to land it because the wind changed on me in the middle of the flight, went from mostly headwind to straight crosswind at like 20 miles an hour. And it was an absolute nightmare, and I had to land the airplane across the runway and into the dirt, which isn't a standard approach that you would typically do at a club, but I wasn't left with many options. So, things like that change. Weather changes, something happens with a model. You just got to plan ahead, like Jeremy said, but also never stop flying the airplane. It's probably the biggest thing. Don't panic. Don't just pull up at the last second. That's what kills a lot of people in real airplanes too. They panic and they pull up. And you saw it. I just did it with Bentley's MiG-29 a couple weeks ago. I was, out joyriding it, and I've hardly flown it. I had a MiG-29 a long time ago, but it didn't have thrust vectoring. And I put it into a maneuver, and I went too far with the maneuver because I have only done it a couple of times. And I got the airplane into a really bad spot, really low, and I panicked, and the thrust vectoring was still turned on, and I was inverted and I was pushing full down because I was panicking. I didn't want to hit the ground. Yeah. And me pushing full down kept it in a nose high attitude and it wouldn't accelerate. And so I at least had the frame of mind because it was dropping because it doesn't have the power to climb out of that. So I'm like, I might have enough altitude to pull through it. And that's what I tried to do. And I pulled it down and let it accelerate for a second before I tried to flare it, but it just didn't have enough room. And that's pilot error. But I at least attempted to fix the situation without I panicked at first, and then I tried to fix it, but I just wasn't high enough.
Yeah.
But I had my T38. I tossed the batteries out of it one time. I had to land a dead stick with a CG shifted 4 inches back, and I was able to land it without hurting it. But it's because I didn't panic and I went straight for the runway. I didn't try and do anything crazy. I assessed the situation immediately. It was super tail heavy and had no energy, and I was dove back towards the runway, and I could tell it wasn't going to be enough energy to flare, and so I pushed it down even harder into almost a straight down dive, and it's all on video actually. But I put it almost in a straight down dive, and then flared it at the last second, and then plopped it onto the ground, and it ended up being okay. But a lot of guys freak out and they just give up and they don't know what to do, and they panic, and so you have to work on that, and that comes with experience. But if you're at least thinking about it, that's half the battle. If you don't expect anything to ever happen, you're never going to be ready for it.
That's the thing. Even like, and not to talk about like my everyday life, but I always have a plan for every situation. You know what I mean? Like, I always have a plan for every circumstance, and it may not go the way I have in my head, but like you said, I'm thinking about, and I have alternatives instead of just panicking. You know what I mean?
You got a window to work with.
You do, exactly.
Yeah, you got a window to work with. I mean,
you always have to think like that and be proactive in your thinking. But like you said, I've seen it many, many times with numerous people at our airfield. It saved me from tearing up airplanes. It saved Will from tearing up airplanes.
Yeah.
We've landed airplanes that we're like, I don't even know how we even landed it. I don't even know how we even got it down, but we just stayed in the fight and flew it all the way down. I did it with a turbine jet, So it's just my L-39, the turbine jet. I did the maiden flight, and the thing was horribly tail heavy, and I literally fought that thing for about 3 or 4 minutes and got it low enough, and I was like, it's not going to go well, but I'm going to get it about 3 feet from the ground and then let that sucker pancake, and I can deal with what's going on and save the whole airplane and everything else. And so that was a game plan that I had always had in my head. So
that's like what me and Bobby always tell people. Like, we've seen guys come out to the field and they get into a situation and you can see the panic and the anxiety rolling out of their face. It's all like they're sweating.
Yeah.
You can see their hands shaking on the transmitter, and they immediately try to go in for a landing. That is not the time to come in for a landing. You need to calm yourself down, fly the plane, calm yourself down, then bring it in for the landing. You try to come in for the landing on such a panic, that's going to be a bad thing. It's a good case in point was, I think, what was that, Bobby? Recently with my turbine jet, I was flying it, and I started, for some reason, something was wrong with the model in the transmitter, and it was giving me all kinds of weird low signal call outs. And I was like, what in the heck? Well, I just took off with this thing. Mm-hmm. I'm full of fuel. So I'm like, I'm not going to try to turn around and drop it in for a landing full of fuel. I got a tailwind on me at the same time. I'm like, I'm just going to have to keep it close and fly it around for at least 2 minutes of that time, try to get some of the fuel out of it, and then bring it in for a landing where it feels more comfortable to me. I mean, but we're talking about, this thing's telling me I got a signal strength of 30%, 20%. I'm like, what the heck? How am I? Yeah. I got a satellite in there. How's this happening? So, possibly could lose the bird. But you just got to stay calm, guys. And just,
absolutely.
Work out the situation, work it out, figure out what's going on, keep flying the plane until that point, and then now you figure it out, bring the plane in for a landing. Whether you got to keep it on its belly, you can put the gear down. That situation with my Sports Hawk, it lost power, and I didn't panic. I just figured, okay, I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, Bobby said, oh, you got enough airspeed. You could come around and bring it in. I'm thinking about the fact that over our trees off onto the right, what if I hit some bad pocket of air over there? It's going to mess me up, and I'm going to drop into those trees. So that's why I was like, I'm just going to take the turn now. And I thought about putting the gear out. I said, no, I don't think it's going to make it. I don't think the gear is going to make it. It's a good thing I didn't put the gear out because the plane would have kept rolling into the rough and I probably would have snatched it. So I just brought it in on belly land and slid it, which there was comments that said, hey man, you could have put the gear out, you could have landed that, but it doesn't have brakes. So it's just going to keep rolling at the speed that I had. And that could have been a bad thing. And I was snatched out of the gear. And well, it would have been a non-flyable plane after that, unless I spend money on gear. But just like Jeremy said, you got to plan ahead. You got to think ahead. You got to always stay ahead of yourself. Know what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, how you're gonna do it. So
I
that's actually a really good
question for y'all, right? How many of you guys practice a situation like running out of battery? Have you ever tried to make a landing where you shut off your power and try to see how your glide slopes are, see what your emergency, see what it takes to get to the runway? Any of that kind of stuff with your airplanes?
Yeah, me and Bobby do that all the time. We'll come in on that glide with no power. We'll be out there and we'll turn off on the downwind. We'll turn off power and we'll just let it glide and see how far we can glide it all the way through the pattern and see how far it'll glide and bring it in. But we'll just kill the power out of nowhere from like 60 or 70% throttle
and just
what it does.
Yeah.
So I recommend trying that out. Viewers, if you haven't done any of this, give yourself an experience of having a failure of your power system, and obviously don't let it go all the way to the ground, but give yourself the glide slope experience, seeing how much drag your flaps take, seeing whether or not flaps are even an option for you under your emergency. Come up with a procedure with your airplane. If you want to have your airplane last for a long time, you need to know the ins, the outs, everything about your airplane and how they handle, not just stall like what was mentioned. How does it handle without power? How does it handle with nose down? To where, are you gaining speed, or does it feel like it's too draggy and it's not really gaining anything? Know that, and that will help with your emergency procedures.
Yep. And remember, always pull back on the stick if you're going too fast. Push forward on the stick if you need to speed up. You could exchange that altitude for airspeed if you need to.
By the way, while we're talking about this, I got two questions I want to ask, and then we're going to punch out of here because we've been rolling for over an hour and 16 minutes. But this is good, man, and I think it's very important stuff here. So let's I got one question for you guys, and it's this. It says, what's one mistake almost every new pilot makes? Because we're talking about things that we can do to prevent a lot of things, but what's one mistake that you think every new pilot makes when they get into this? Louis Motorsport said dumb thumbs. I would agree for sure. It's going to happen. But what do y'all think? And we'll just make this really quick.
I'll say what my mistake was. Okay. My mistake was moving too fast. I went from an Aero Scout and tried to jump on a three-wing F-35. And
I call that Mustang.
And Don Henry knew what I was about to say. My takeoffs were full up elevator on takeoff. And you know what happens, right? It pulls up, it rolls over, and goes right back down. Yep. I did it to three F-35s. I bought three F-35s. And each one of them, either one of them made a flight. And I was just like, I won't ever buy another F-35 again. But it wasn't the F-35. It was me not having the experience for it. So I made the mistake of moving too fast instead of taking my time and pacing myself.
Man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Jeremy, what do you got?
That might be one of the biggest mistakes new guys make for sure, is just skipping steps in a way. And you see it even in turbine jets. I can't tell you how many guys flying turbines that I've watched going, this guy does not need to be flying this airplane. He needs to go back to it's not to be mean. I'm not trying to be, an a-hole about it, but it's like, dude, you don't have the experience level you need for this airplane. You're way behind it. And that happens in warbirds. It happens in sport airplanes, foamies, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you have enough money or whatever, you think, I'm going to get this now. No offense to Will, but like, it definitely is a stepping stone kind of a thing, and you don't just go from here to here without, at least something in the middle, and that's a huge thing, is building the experience over time and not just rushing through it. So
that's like I have, like, you guys see that I'm currently flying turbines. You tell you the one thing that I'm afraid to fly, a Corsair. I feel like they are just the hardest thing to fly that there is out there. For some reason, watching other people fly them, they don't seem to fly that well. But I'm afraid to fly a Corsair, and I shouldn't be. But I won't ever try one, not without taking the steps of learning my way up towards that, because the warbirds fly differently, man.
Yeah,
they don't fly the same as everything.
Fly
else.
differently, land differently.
Yeah.
Setup with a warbird is kind of everything.
And they don't take off the same,
they don't take off the same
P curve or whatever it is,
and that's the thing that I'm afraid of, that P factor, because I watch people take off with them, and it's like it's over, before it starts.
Well, that's a pretty good case of what I was just talking about. A lot of guys want to jump to the really hot stuff. It's like, oh man, I got to have a Corsair or a Mustang or whatever. And I'll tell you, Corsair is probably one of the best flying warbirds out there, but it has to be set up properly. Yeah. Guys go out there and the CG's not right, or the control throws are way too hot on a warbird.
Forget about
you hardly even need control throws, especially for like an elevator on something like a Corsair. The amount of travel you need for that elevator with a proper CG is so minimal that you would look at that and go, that couldn't possibly be enough. But if it's CG'd right, it's definitely more than enough. Mm-hmm. So a lot of guys just go out there because, the instruction booklet might have said you only need 5 millimeters of travel. And they go, that can't be right. And they'll put in 15. And then you watch them fly it and go, man, that thing flies like garbage. That looks scary to fly. Well, it's scary to fly because it's not set up properly. So, I would say most warbirds actually fly pretty good, but it really requires the right setup for them to work properly. And the same goes for jets or anything else. But warbirds can be especially sensitive to it because most of them have a higher wing loading, and they might be underpowered by some amount, and that makes it worse. Or the CG's off, And most guys, like a Corsair especially, it's got a really short nose. So most guys, if you put a regular, like on my top RC Corsair, let's say, that's a 40-pound airplane. And if I put what they recommend in it, which is like a 95cc single cylinder engine, it's going to have 5 pounds or more of lead in the nose, which sounds insane, but that's what it needs to balance. That's why I put a 10-pound motor in it. I don't have any lead in the nose of mine. I just have a giant engine. So, but it's a beautiful flying airplane. It's super easy to fly, in my opinion. But the guys will be like, I don't want to put that much weight in the nose. So now they got a CG that's way far back. They got way too much control throws, and then it doesn't even hardly fly. Yeah. So it really just comes with, and that comes with experience, because I grew up flying 40 size warbirds as a kid. That's what I kind of grew up on. And I went from that to a little bit bigger warbirds to a little bit bigger warbirds, and now I'm flying pretty big stuff. But that's all stepping stones. You don't go from foamies to flying 40-pound warbirds overnight. So,
right.
But I wouldn't be scared of one by any means if it was set up properly. I think you could fly it without any problems if you can fly turbine jets.
Oh,
but it comes with experience.
Dude, that flight like Corsair is amazing.
I would have to take it. So I wouldn't want to jumping right onto that.
And Corsair is by far, that's my favorite warbird. It flies. So like you said, it's all about the balance and making sure your CG is dead on. I've had quite a few of them, man. I love them. They're just so beautiful in the air, man. But they fly.
Pull up that YouTube short I just posted a few days ago of Bentley landing his Corsair. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more stable airplane. Coming into land, the Corsair is probably one of the nicest landing warbirds out there. Takeoffs might be a little worse than some, but nothing's worse than a Mustang, honestly.
Mustang's probably crap. I don't have a problem with flying a P-51.
But you'll have no problem flying a Corsair if you can fly a Mustang.
Corsairs built, man. They got great flap.
I'm showing the video right now of it coming in.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And see, I like the Corsair, man.
And the biggest thing with warbirds is you got to land under a little bit of power. you are falling it and hoping it's going to just float in, wrong.
Yeah. No, especially if they have skill props on them.
That's
That
a
thing
nice
sounds
one.
nice. You can hear
Yeah,
that.
it sounds really good.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
if
the
you
way
can
it
fly
is.
a Mustang, you can fly any warbird. Because Mustangs fly like crap, honestly.
Yeah, and I don't like
I
Mustangs.
had the
Honestly,
e-flite
I don't like how they fly. I just do not enjoy it.
It's not that they fly like crap, I guess. That's the wrong way to put it. They're more difficult on the ground for sure than a P-47 or a Corsair by like a lot. On takeoff especially. Landing's not that big of a deal, but takeoff Mustangs can be a real pain in the butt.
All right, guys,
don't like it.
last question of the night. All right.
Well, you let me answer.
Oh yeah. Well, you already put your input in there.
Okay, so the biggest thing right now, in my opinion, that beginners are making a mistake on is they're getting too used to safe.
Riding that crutch.
Get you in the air for a little bit, but the reliancy of it, you're not getting the experience.
No.
That's actually what happened to Bentley when I was teaching him. I started him on safe, and he got to where he could fly around on safe by himself. And then I would try and get him to turn it off. He didn't want to turn it off.
Yeah.
And so finally, to get him away from that airplane, I had this old SIG Cadet hanging on the wall over here, and a friend of mine gave that to me, and it's got a 4-stroke on it. It's old school, no anything of assistance, and that's what I trained him on after that Valiant because he wouldn't turn safe off, and so that taught him how to fly just like the rest of us learned.
Reliancy of safe. Get past. You got to get past it.
I agree.
It's a great way to start and get some muscle memory with stick movements and stuff as far as like what directions make you go what directions. But once you've made it past that, you really got to take off the crutches and just kind of go for it and start learning.
What absolutely kills me is when I hear people asking about which EDFs that they want or this and that, and then they say, "Is it good to have? Is it capable with safe?
Is it good to have safe for it?" Yeah.
No.
No EDF turns well on safe. That is the widest turn you can ever make.
I can't fly on it. I can't fly on safe. It's like it. I will actually crash an airplane if I fly it on safe because I don't have what I need.
Abilities.
Yeah, I'm limited. I'm flying in this when I need this. You know what I mean?
Great for a beginner. Get the feel of whether they want to continue doing the hobby, but you got to get past it and learn how an airplane flies with rates, not safe.
Yeah, but let's keep it real though. Now, let's not tell these people don't set up safe because
I'm just saying.
I do have it on my stuff just in case that one bug decides to fly in my eye.
Baby on the sticks.
That's what's been crashing
He's
you.
a baby on the sticks, dude. This guy, he's literally the guy we're talking about right now.
Who, me?
Yeah, he still has a fail-safe just in case something. He'll go hit a button.
Beyond this, Will,
you need to crash like the rest of us out here, dude.
No.
Let it go.
I ain't doing that, Bobby. I ain't doing that.
Oh, buddy.
Hey, look, let me get this one last question in, and then we're gonna punch out, dude. We've been rolling hard, dude. It's like almost an hour and a half. But it's the first of the year. We gotta do it.
Real quick.
All right.
Just gonna say this real fast. If you do run safe, guys, don't make the mistake of turning safe off mid-turn.
Oh yeah, we had that at our field. Yeah.
Don't make that mistake because that sucker will go from what? I don't know, 10% on the throw rates to an instant 100, and you're gonna be in for a surprise if you do it in the middle of a turn. So don't do that.
Absolutely.
There we go.
All right.
Hey, next, what is it?
Next question, last question, man. What was the most memorable flying moment of 2025 for you guys, man? Hey, I'll take this one first. It wasn't a good moment, but it was. I had two moments. One was I had my very first flame out and crash on takeoff. It was something I was always planning in my head, like how it would go, or how it should go, or how I wanted it to go. And unfortunately, it happened on takeoff, just like almost failure to rotate. And then at the last minute, the engine cuts off. And it's like, I was like, man, dude, I know it's going to happen at some point in my flying journey, but I don't want it to be horrible. And so it was one of those things where I took off and the engine cut off about maybe 20, 30 feet off the ground. Not much I could do. I had to make the decision to find a place to put it down and, hope for the best and pray for no fires. And it happened. So for me, that was the most memorable flying moment for me of 2025. It was like, okay, I experienced that. So now I know what that feels like and I know how to minimize that as best as I can. And I know that foam airplanes are pretty resilient, man. I gotta say, for what it is. But that was mine. It wasn't necessarily a good thing, but it wasn't a horrible thing either. I'm glad now bounce back from it. All right, Will, you're up.
My most memorable flying moment for 2025, I would have to say, is similar to yours when I was on the climb out with my first Viper, and it lost power and killed out, and they didn't have enough airspeed to even make it from over the trees. So yeah, that was not a good moment, but my most memorable flying moment in 2025.
Fair enough, man. All right.
I don't know if you heard me or not.
Jeremy, you're up.
I'll go last. Oh, you go last? All right. I would probably say was the first flight of my jet hanger F-86. I had my dad there and everything, and my dad got me into the hobby when I was a little tiny kid. My dad got into the hobby in the late 70s, and so he had a couple of those F-86s when I was a little tiny kid, and so I have a lot of childhood memories that revolve around that particular kit and flying glow ducted fans and stuff like that. So having a super successful first flight on not my first glow ducted fan, but my first successful one, was really neat, especially to have my dad there to witness it and my son, obviously. So that was really that was a really cool experience, and definitely had a lot of fun with that one. So,
man, that is important right there. Those are true memories right there that I'm sure your son will remember that for, you know what I mean? Like, that's what the hobby is about right there. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Jeremy, you're up, buddy. You had plenty of time to ponder.
It was when he crashed into his son's jet.
Good God Almighty! That was memorable, dude. I will say that was
that was the pretty crucial thing.
Was that his fault?
Show it again. Come on.
Yeah.
That was memorable. I don't know if it was the most memorable.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I've had so many great experiences this year. With going to events and hanging out with everybody, flying with everybody, giving people the spin on some of these airplanes and seeing them enjoy them, to, when we put out an airplane and people contact me and go, you were right on that airplane, that type of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of really great memories out there. But I say this all the time. My greatest achievement and greatest, memory or moments that I have is essentially watching my son kick butt.
Yeah.
He flies exceedingly well. He's got way better thumbs than I do. He's doing so great, and I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
That's not just a father thing, but it's like, man, he's awesome. He does great. He does so good. And for him to just grab the sticks and just go up there and just essentially do a work of art in the air,
He's smooth, man.
It's fun. I mean, that's where it is, but again, that's like, in my opinion, the greatest thing. But like I said, there's so many things, the friendships that we all have.
Yeah.
It's not just flying. It's not just flying planes. It's the relationships and the friendships and the memories we all make when we talk about things like this channel.
Yeah.
We come on here and we BS all the time, but the people that watch this and all that, it's really a fantastic thing we have going here, where we can talk like this and we can answer questions and we can help people. And I don't know.
Yeah.
There's too many things to say, but like I said, my greatest achievement, I think, in the hobby is my son flying. He's out of trouble. He's not in drugs. He's not chasing women. He's not,
Yep.
He's away from all of that stuff, and he's out there being the honest kid, enjoying aviation and hobby. That's my thing. So
I gotta add on to that, man. And even for you, Heck, man. I mean, yeah, that was an amazing thing. That was absolutely real. And I gotta say, even I sit back, and I watch little dude do his thing, and I sit back and I'm like, these kids are so fortunate to be in a position of where they can actually fly and enjoy this hobby, because I remember being a kid like that, and I didn't have that opportunity until I was a little bit older, an adult, in order to do it. And to see these kids doing it with like so much finesse, like he really is very good on the sticks, man. And it makes me proud. And it also says a lot for yourself too, as a parent, man, passing the torch to him and the confidence that you're building in him, dude.
And that's the same as Bentley. He's too. Yeah. I mean, California, right?
Yeah.
He's hanging out with us. We're just shooting the bull. We're not like, go fly that Viper jet. And he's like, really? Yeah, let's go fly it. And he just goes up there and just has a great old time with it,
Yeah.
So hopefully we're making memories with him too,
You guys are enriching your kids, awesome. Man. You are. And maybe one day when you guys become super old guys and they think about putting you guys in that rest home, they're gonna be like, you know what? Nah, he took me out flying one day. I'm not gonna put him in there.
Wow. Rest home that I'm in better have a dang airport in the back of it.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, I better have one. But I tell you, it is good, man, and you guys are doing very well by your kids. Even Will does it too. He used to bring his daughter out there and have her fly.
She's been talking about it. She's like, I think I need to go back out flying. I'm like, okay.
It's just it's just something about it. But like I said, I tell Will all the time, and in the videos, man, it's the best dang hobby you can ever find. The best for your kids, the best for you mentally, So guys, that's some very memorable flying moments in things 2025. And guess what? We got a whole full year to make even more of those. So 2026 is kicking up even better, man.
Let's stop it and make it better.
That's it. I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we're going to try to do on this channel, and gain some more speed and try to get some more viewers and see if we can't keep this momentum going, man, and keep that torch passing. Guys, we've been going for an hour and 36 minutes. I say it's time for us to pop smoke and call it a day. We're all pushing the envelope here. So, guys, certainly appreciate you guys coming onto the channel tonight for the first show of 2026. Man, I have to say, man, this was a very good show. Like I feel like this was very, very good. And
living my childhood as an adult.
Yeah, I mean,
Louis says,
absolutely, man. And also a big shout out to Banana Hobby and Carrie for allowing us to be able to do the reviews that we do on these airplanes and be honest about stuff. And and she takes time to make sure she's putting out a good product, man. I wish we had more companies that actually were caring that with the product they put in our hands, and the people they entrust them with. So Jeremy, keep doing a phenomenal job, and Heck, you keep being creative, man, and doing a phenomenal job professionally and in your personal life. We certainly really appreciate the work that you do, in your job, your professional life. So yeah, man. Will, you're a good dude. I'm fine. I'm glad this Will 2.0. I like the new look, man. You're progressing as a pilot, man, and it's just it's cool to see the journey, man. And I'm thankful for you, man, because I have somebody that go to the field. We go out there, we decompress, man. Sometimes we'll have hard days and we just need to talk and we just need to get out. And dude, that's what the field is about, man. That the field should be a good TV show. I'm surprised nobody's made one, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Call it the field.
Dude, I'm telling you, it would work. But
man.
We don't need that.
Same here, man. I want to thank you for all that you've done, all that you taught me, everything. Being there, man. I mean, you're more than just a friend. You're like a brother to me. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That's why I hang out with you, man. I really like you. You're a good guy. Same thing with you, Jeremy. You got a good heart, man. You
You
good
do.
guy. Heck speed, man. I only known you for a short period of time, but I could tell you got a good heart too, man. So you know, you guys are like brothers to me. So you know, and me not tear up.
Tighten up, Will. Just kidding. Well, look, guys, it's been a great show. We're gonna go and slide on off of here. I think that's a good stopping point. I hope you'll have a wonderful night. We're gonna be back here next Thursday, and with more exciting reviews coming out. So stay tuned. Always something good coming on, and we'll see you on the flip side. Here we go. Right. Man, that was